I placed my niece at her sleeping mother's breast and watched my brother, turgid with affection, look back and forth from his wife to his newborn daughter. In that refugee camp, which Israel would label a breeding ground of terrorists and a festering den of terror, I bore witness to a love that dwarfed immensity itself. How are we doing on time?
I'm sorry, but
Yes, 5 minutes.
how about another 15 minutes?
Okay. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to just read one more very short passage again, and then I'll open it up to questions. Okay, and then this next passage is this is not narrated by Ahmad, and it's a scene that takes place between Fatima and Yusuf. Ahmad had just received a marriage proposal by letter from Majid, a man whom she had fallen in love with, and Fatima and Yusuf are sort of talking about it. Ahmad read it again and again. Her heart beat as vigorously with love as it once did with fear. I wish I could see the look on her face when she reads it, Fatima said to Yusuf, annoyed that he would not reveal to her the contents of the letter, which Majid had been obliged to share with Yusuf. Fatima pouted, playfully vexed to be the last to know. She narrowed her eyes to focus a thought. If you don't tell me, I'm going to join Ahmad in the courtyard, she warned her husband, unable to contain a smile despite her best effort to give a serious ultimatum. Habibti, please stay with me, Yusuf whined like a little boy, lying on their bed with Falastin asleep in his arms. She kept her eyes narrowed and crinkled her nose, and Yusuf delighted to watch her face surrender to a willing smile. In the last attempt to hold her ground, she bit her lip, and the sight of her thus was more beauty than Yusuf could bear. I suppose I can wait till morning, she said, turning to retrieve her nightshirt from a drawer. The baby had put extra flesh on Fatima's body and stretched her belly, and now she hid herself self-consciously behind the dresser to change her clothes. Go back with the baby, she ordered Yusuf when he rose toward her. Why? Faustina's sleeping. Well, I'm changing. Go back. She held her nightgown to hide her body. The light switch was out of reach. Yusuf understood and lowered himself before her. Let me see, he whispered at her knees. She stopped, trembling as if he would see her, touch her for the first time. As she loosened her hold of the gown, her husband rested his head against her waist. He kissed the body that had borne his child, moving along her curves, swallowing life from the marks of motherhood on this woman who held his heart, his dreams, and aches inside of her. The gown fell completely, and love rose from them over their small dwelling in the Shatila refugee camp, from a man making love to his wife, and from his sister in the courtyard, reading and rereading a promise of love.